and welcome along and welcome back to Stone Valley. We are getting stuck straight into these sunflowers today. We have the contract on field 8 to get done, so I want to blast through this, get this all done today. Thankfully we've got a fairly big harvester that we're dealing with this this nice big class. This is the 8900 Lexian, and as a result we should get through it fairly quickly. The header on this isn't massive, and it does present an interesting conundrum when we come to do the emptying, especially if we're emptying in a row like this. I hope we got enough space to do it with our tractor, but we'll see what happens. But in general, it should be just a case of blasting through this field today, which is fantastic. I'll be very happy to get the extra cash in. We are at 161,000. We're expecting about 36,000 from this once we have both harvested it and got the extra sunflowers. In fact, let's have a quick look. And under our contracts, there they are. Oh, no, there they are. Right. And our active harvesting contract, we have, yes, we're expected to get 33,610 out of this. So quite a good amount. Let's spin this round, and we're going to catch the very edge of this area here. As we come in, we have got GPS running on here, so that's going to make this job easier as well. And it looks like going once across the field, it's going to give us about 15% of a tank full. So 6 lanes on each cut-in is actually going to be pretty good for emptying into our tractor and trailer as and getting fairly close to a full tank each time. I've tried to set my tractor to go and deliver the grain it's got, or the sunflower seeds it's got, because we have, well, a fairly full trailer as it stands at the moment, and we're 25% full at this point. And it is charging a wage payment for this, but doesn't seem to be moving. Let's try this again. Yeah, you are not moving. Let's move this up here and see if we can actually get this to do this. So create job, deliver, yes. Grain-rich valley is where it's going to, and start job. And he's off. Perfect. Now, hopefully he'll have more luck than our truck had, because when I tried to do load and deliver with the truck to the same location, and we'll just double check that we have got the right location for our contract. There we go. Grain-rich valley, yeah, we have. So, yeah, when I tried to do that with the truck, definitely had issues with it actually doing it. We're not on our course for GPS. Wondered why we were so far over. Concentrating too much on the tractor that's doing the carting, and not enough on where my header for my combine should be to get some sunflowers cut. Looks like that is heading to the right place though, and we'll see if it gets stuck, because it's not the easiest place to get in and turn around. Here it goes. He is there. He is turning around it, so he's coming in from the other side by the looks of things, and it looks like he's made it in. That actually transported a quarter of the sunflowers for this field, and that is off just the headlands, which is really interesting, considering we were about 30% complete from the headlands. That is a massive amount of sunflowers to have already delivered. Makes me think we're actually further through this field than I believe I am. I mean, we are at 43% according to the progress, but to be honest, with the way that fields it previously have acted with these waterways in them, it's a little bit odd I fully expect that we will find that this will slow down and our progress will drop quite dramatically as we go further and further into the field. So yeah, I think I feel like I'm only about 30% of the way through when it actually says I'm 43%. The slowdown in the progress of this contract that I was talking about only a moment ago has already kicked in. We've done 2 more rows, 3 more rows, and yeah, it is only gone up 2%. So this part of the field here where we don't have the waterways tends to move a lot slower in the progress of the contract than the parts that actually have the waterways in. For some reason, it's a little bit odd like that. But we are up to 45% of the way through the contract now. We are only 74% full, so I think we're in a position where... do you know what? I think these trailers will take 1.5 of this tanks from this combine. So that's about right per row to or per cutting to do that. So let's empty that out there. This will all go into the front trailer. There's enough space with that extra bit on top to get this all in, and then yeah, we can get well, I don't know, I think we might actually be able to get 2 full loads of this combine in here, but I want to sort of work it out and see how it goes. I don't know if it'll start moving after it reaches a certain level, but we'll see. It's certainly not moving at the moment. And I want to go in on the 3rd row, which I'm guessing is about here. You can just check this. Not quite. A little bit further. There is where we want to be. Down. And of course that is still realistic, putting the lines on to check that. Because normally, if you had GPS in real life, you would be looking at it on that screen right there. And that would tell you exactly how far across you are and exactly where your cutting and everything would be. So, yeah, I would love to see that. You know, one day, my hope for Farm Sim is that we have GPS built into it. We have a screen like this, and it basically copies the minimap. And you can see your GPS set up on both the minimap and on there. That would be absolutely awesome. I think that the other bits of the field over towards the dairy farm there are going to be a little more finicky because of the waterways that are there. I think I want to break it into roughly 2 parts. So we'll do the area sort of there, split by the waterway. We'll do that as a section and work our way through that. And we then continue to move across the field over there. The only place I think that might be an issue is... we've only got 2 more rows to cut from that side there. I think there's maybe 3 rows worth. So there's quite a big overlap with that. The answer to that, I think, is going to be to move into that area up there and then do that single run as the last one of it. And it should work fairly well, I think. But sort of move our way back to it, maybe. So I think that is going to be the best way to go. Speaking, actually, of the cow farm and the dairy farm, I asked you guys in the comments last time what you thought I should do, whether you thought we should continue to do contracts, save up, and get the dairy farm over the winter, or whether I should go and grab Field 25, the small farm there that's a lot less customizable and has a fair amount less potential going forwards, but would at least give us a base of operations to get started. It was fairly overwhelming. I think I had about 7 or 8 responses, and 6 or 7 of them were basically save up, get the dairy farm, and do it that way instead of grabbing field 25 that also had the slightly higher ground potential, but was you know a lot less potential overall, and was reflected by the fact that it was a lot cheaper. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and get some extra contracts done and get the dairy farm and get ourselves set up with that. What I want to do then is next we have a cultivating contract, and we'll be moving on to that next time. It's fairly big. It's actually field 1, so it's dealing with the sugar beet field we've just finished. But thankfully that should be fairly quick. Hour and 20 minutes is the estimated time, so we should be able to blast through that. And then just looking at what else we have, there is a big ploughing contract on field 9 that we could attempt over the winter. That in itself is 35,000. So that would be 70,000 on top of the 30,000 we have now. I know that there was some worry about whether it would stay interesting over the winter with lots of contracts. We do 3 contracts. This, cultivating and a ploughing, we will be able to afford that dairy farm. The gap is a little bit wider than I thought. We are just reaching it here, and you can see that is several widths of that combine header before that's cleared out. I think that's about 4 rows. So if we can go a couple of rows over and do a small section cut in, we should end up with these 2 bits of the fields I was talking about. So this area here and that area over there being separated, and allow us to get this little area here done. But we are coming to the end of this cut-in. We have got slightly more of a load on the combine now. We are at 86%. We weren't this high last time, so that's good news. And we can now just come here and get that out, empty this, and I'm hoping my tractor and trailers are going to go tip with this. Let's bring this round. And I'm half tempted, actually, with the amount that we seem to be able to unload into these, to just use the front trailer. It would be less trips, but it is still just sitting there all the time. Come on. Right, back it up. There's quite a long reach on this with such a short header, and it does throw me off a bit. That is the front trailer filled. We've still got 26% in our combine. So we get that into the back. And that is that trailer done as well. Yeah, it looks like he's not moving. So we'll get a couple of cut-ins here. And that should, yeah, 1, 2, yeah, that should give us pretty much what we're after. So slightly smaller area here of 4 means we can top up the trailer and we can divide this field. So we're on the 4th row here and coming up to the waterway, and you can see that it's almost divided it already. It's just a very, very thin bit through the middle. It's not even connected, but squaring this off will help us overall. So I decided to continue on and divide it to this point. Should work fairly well. We are at 53%, so I am not too worried about doing another cut-in when we get to the other side here. And of course, we're going to get a lot less per set of cut-ins than we had with the last few rows, simply because we have a lot less field in this small area up here. It's going well though. We are now up to 58% of the way through, and yeah, we've got about a normal progress at this point. I'm expecting things to accelerate towards the end, especially once we've completed everything on this side of the waterway and get into the other part of the field. I think that will start making a big difference to our progress. We're going to be delivering somewhere about another 30% of crop here. Let's turn on our indicators and we can have a look. So that's 2. We want to cut in on the 3rd. Line ourselves up. And away we go. I can turn the indicators off again. And yeah, we're up at 60%. So we're probably going to have to get our tractor and trailer to come over here and empty, I think. So I've managed to get the whole of that cut-in done with the space we had in the tank. We're down to 90, well, we're up to 95%. This should be enough, I think, to fill the trailer and set that tractor and trailer on its way. So let's bring this round. We've got lots of space. We know roughly where we need to be based on where our tire tracks are from before. Reverse it up and into the trailer. And this should set this off. As soon as we've finished loading and as soon as it's full, it should head off. There should be more than enough in here to fill this trailer. And yeah, there we go. Trailer is full. I'm expecting that to head off now. Is it going to? Please go tip that. Blocked by an object. I have no idea what that's blocked by. I'll have to sort that out and get that moving. No, he's still not moving. Right. So, yeah, I'll have to get that moving. And then I can get back to this last little bit that we've got here, which is almost a perfect set of 6 lands. Brilliant. Our biggest problem at the moment is time. It is November. The sun is low in the sky. And we are, well, 66% of this field complete. It's going to be tough. We've got rain on the way as well this evening. It may be a case that we have to split this into 2 and either, well, we've got rain on the way over in the evening, so yeah, it may be that we have a late cut of the rest of this field and take it into December just to get it finished off and get it done. I think if I do that, what we'll do is get the cultivator contract going at the same time. I would really like to get this finished and get the money in. As I said, we don't have a huge amount of money to get to complete what we need to do. We are looking to buy this farm right next to us. So this dairy farm here, it's 246,000. So we only need 180. Sorry, we only need 85,000 to buy it. If that's the case, then the 3 contracts I was talking about, this one, the ploughing contract and the cultivating contract, will do it. It'll probably take us until easily into January to get them, all 3 of those done, but getting them done will allow us to get the dairy farm, and then all we have to do going into next year is probably another contract or 2 and get everything up and running. We're going to need to get some feeding stuff and some grass, doing some grass stuff and things like that. So we'll keep our eye out in the sales. Speaking of which, what is for sale today? Well, a piece of grass equipment, actually. What is that? That is a grass roller and seeder? That might be worth getting for £8,000. To do our grass work with, especially as I think we're going to have an excess of money anyway with these contracts, and grabbing things that are going to be useful for our dairy farm when we can is going to be of the utmost importance. So I'm going to have a quick look at that before we finish today. We are losing the sunlight though, so I think we're in a good place, to be honest, to wrap this up when we get to the end of this field, or end of this section of the field. We can empty out into our tractor and trailer, cover that up and pick it up on a cold December morning. We do know that the sunflowers will still be here, Contracts, thankfully, do allow us to run over a couple of days like that. But, yeah, look at that. Darkness is coming in, and with it is going to be a whole load of rain that is going to affect our yield across this. And I'm not sure if it does or doesn't on contracts. It's not something I've tested, but it is likely to cause us issues if it does. So I don't want to lose the whole contract on the fact that our yield reduces. So let's get this last little section here. We can probably swing around as we do it. Get all of it in one go. And there we are. Turn off our thresher. And that has got a large swath of this field done. And our tractor and trailer are sitting just the other side of this waterway. And we can actually empty from this side. Our auger is so long. There we go. So, yeah, that is about as far as I think we can get today. As a result, that is where I'm going to leave it for now. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.